Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 15. Man, this episode combined with the trailer for next week, I am hyped. If you're new to this channel, it's one huge fan talking to other huge fans about the most recent episode. We do it every episode, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So leave your thoughts and opinions about the current episode and any predictions you might have for the next episode. Leave those down in the comment box. I will be putting up my prediction video behind this, so stay tuned for that. Now, I want to start off with the first thing we saw in the episode, which was Maggie. And this I love, and I wanted to see more of this throughout the season, just a little bit more. We did get enough, but I just wanted a little more. And this is the community people actually working with Maggie, getting her advice and her leadership for the future of this community, because you have Maggie and Gregory, the current leader, occupying the same space. You know, they're in the same area, and the people at the hilltop are looking to Maggie to solve their problems already. And Gregory sees it, and comic book fans, if you didn't notice, they subtly set up, or at least I feel they're subtly setting up something that's going to happen down the line, where you see Gregory and he's I won't put any spoilers, but he's peering over Maggie's shoulder. He's supposed to be watching her back, but he's looking, or maybe he gets this idea of stabbing her in the back, and I think that's beautifully set up, because then his humanity kicks in. This wasn't like a diabolical evil leader. This is a desperate coward who sees an opportunity, possibly, and then he thinks about killing her there, and his humanity kicks back in, and he's like, oh, you know, he kind of shakes it off. He's like, whoa, cold sweats. He's like, what was I just thinking? You know, I should not be thinking that. So, or maybe he was thinking something else. I know I would be. Anyway, moving on. We got Sasha talking about thinking something else. Sasha, oh, beautiful Sasha. I love Sasha, or I love the actress playing Sasha. She's easy on the eyes, but I really don't feel like she's going to make it out of this season. I think they are laying that on pretty thick. Prepare for it. Sasha might either be mutilated or not make it out of the next season, or the last episode. We only have one more episode, but I really did not like how it was a jump cut. Last week we had Sasha running in, guns blazing, seeming. I'll have to go back and look, but I don't think we even heard that she killed anybody, right? How did she get caught? How was she captured? I would have rather they cut out some other material. It's hard in this episode because I liked so much, but definitely if you look at this season as a whole, you could absolutely find room to trim some down, to push the story down, to have Sasha in a 10-minute scene, maybe a 5-minute scene, where she's just taking out some saviors, and then she gets taken out herself. So she ran in there and just got, what, tackled, and that was the end of it? Did she get cornered? Was there a standoff? I think that would have been kind of cool, having a standoff, even for a few minutes, you know? But I did not like the jump cut. I didn't like it at all. And then we got a comic book scene that I've been waiting for a while, and we talked about this. That creepo who was creeping on Enid got stabbed in the neck. Now, in the comic book, this wasn't all an amazing, crazy, you know, intense scene. It wasn't screaming and yelling. There definitely was some, but I felt like this scene was a little tame. And I'm not talking about, oh, they're cutting out the gore. I'm not talking about that, because a dude still got stabbed in the neck. But and this scene didn't need to be gory, but I don't want to say weak, but it felt soft. Like, I thought the acting was okay, but it didn't do it for me. It was good, don't get me wrong, it was good, but I really thought there was going to be a little more oomph to it. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but I liked it regardless. I'm glad that the guy got killed, and I love how it shows that Negan has a very tempting offer. Listen, that offer is tempting as shit. It's a post-apocalypse. Every time we hear people talking about Negan, it's either two different extremes. It's like, oh, you know, this is a TV show, I love the villains, you know, whatever. Or you get these people who treat him like he's in the real world now, where the law is the law, and you have organization and government and communities and shit like that. This is post-apocalypse, man. He put a very sound offer on the table. You know, you came in here, storming in here to kill me on a suicide mission. This was some kamikaze shit. But you know what? I'm willing to work with you still. I want to work together. In the future, we will all be working together. Under my rule, of course. I love what they're doing with Negan and setting him up like this, where you have some very villainous shit, and then you have him say, no, we're not raping. I wouldn't want to live in a community where rape was allowed. What kind of leader would do that? That's some decrepit shit. I got distracted because I totally forgot to mention the Ninja Walkers. Yeah, knock that shit off. You know what, I agree. Usually I'm trying to say, all right, fans, keep in mind, if you're, you know, shooting and killing and whatever, you're ears are ringing. They're not going to hear the walkers. We should hear the walkers. But then the audience wouldn't get it. The audience would be like, oh, that person was like blocka, blocka, blocka. We heard the walker coming, but the character didn't hear the walker coming. I think it would be smart to play it like that and let the fans just be confused and lost. You know, the ones who don't get it, eventually they'll get it. They'll ask a friend, that people will talk to them. They'll be like, yeah, their ears were ringing, whoop-de-whoop. They didn't hear no walker. But for us, we saw Maggie and Gregory, well, I mean, us, we can hear it. We know the characters can't because their ears are ringing, but Maggie and Gregory were sitting there. There was no gunshots. You know, there was no excuse for that one walker to pop out of nowhere and just ninja attack Gregory's ass. So that type of shit, I really wish they'd just drop it. And the walker kills are a bit inconsistent. We see characters go up to walkers and they're just like bong, 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 done. They got these skulls that are just mush, so they're just instantly. But every time the scene needs to draw out the tension and suspense a little bit, or for the convenience of the story, Maggie goes up to a walker and it's a good solid 20 seconds before she can do anything. When if you go back and look at other episodes, Carol's like, done, dead. Done, dead. Another person's like, done, dead. Even Maggie once or twice this season was probably like, done, dead. Or at least last season. So I think the walker kills are inconsistent, and I really would like to see that kind of just knock it off. Make it consistent. And I know I'm arguing about realism in a zombie apocalypse story, but the realism is what grips me. Now, Oceanside, we see Tara at Oceanside and it cuts to commercial. I really like this scene. I don't know why, but when the grandmother, the bitchy grandmother, I forget her name, she walks in and Tara's like, hello. I was like, I like this. And I really like Tara throughout this episode. I like the seriousness. Tara doesn't have to be serious for us to like her, but I don't know. There was just something matured about the performance in this episode. For me personally, I loved it. I felt like it could have used a little bit more range in the character, but I thought the seriousness combined with her, the characteristic of, the goofiness around Tara, that characteristic, I thought it was well blended in this episode, and I thought it was great. I liked her probably the most I have ever liked her as a character in the entire series. In this one episode, there was just something about it that was just awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Now with Sasha, this is some heartbreaking shit that I do want to go back and rewatch it with, because what she's saying to Eugene is not really how she feels. She's not planning on committing suicide. She wants Eugene, and this is her trick. She's sitting in the cell, she's thinking about it, she's like, okay, I'm gonna show Negan I'll play along. I'll do what Rick does, you know? And then Negan comes in, he takes the knife. Okay, Negan took the knife. Well, I'm going to give Eugene this sob story, and he'll give me a knife. He'll bring me glass. And then when Negan comes in, when I find my opportunity, I'm just gonna bury it in his throat. And that is her suicide, you know, because her life will be over at that point. But she accepted it. That part is true. She knew this was the end of the line for her. This was the end of the road for her. So I think it was played well, and they didn't spoon feed it. Now the actress had a lot of expression there, but you can see the disappointment when she got those pills. She was looking at it like, oh, this isn't, because I think when she lifted up the pill bag, I think she was thinking, oh, you know, maybe if I just blow it in his face, it'll be instant. And then you hear when Eugene is like, in 20 or 30 minutes or so, yada yada yada, you kind of see her slump back like, this isn't going to work. There's absolutely no hope. So I thought that was played real well. I also missed a note with the sniper girl. The sniper girl from Oceanside. One line she said I thought was great, and I think this was this one little line was just great writing, where the sniper girl was thankful for what they're doing, even though they came and they robbed them or whatever. Whoop-de-whoop. The sniper girl looked past that. You know, Tara broke the promise, but she understands. She gets it. Yo, this isn't easy. They're not just stealing guns and going and they're gonna have a big party. They're going to war. They're putting in work. Some of them are going to die. Some of them are definitely going to die. Tara might even die. And that girl, I forget her name, I'm sorry, but Sniper Girl was like, listen, thanks for what you're going to do. And I thought that one little line was awesome. I did like the middle finger. Usually sometimes I don't like so much of the goofiness with Tara. Sometimes I feel like some of it feels a little forced. It's like, okay, it's Tara. We need to add a little goofy moment. But I thought that was definitely well deserved with the little girl. Okay, you could call it forced that the little girl would hop up and be like, you're not leaving us with any guns? Whatever. But we have Dwight. All right. I'm going to say it again. Listen, well, I don't know what the hell they were thinking or doing or what. Maybe it wasn't a good story. I don't know. Maybe there's more to come. But I just truly felt like they had the perfect setup for Daryl and Dwight. Holy shit, it was set up in season... Or no, it wasn't set up, but the potential for it to be set up goes all the way back to season 6, episode 6. That's what I thought they were doing. I mean, damn, why not? It's there. It's not like it's totally predictable, because we have so many people. When I mention them working together to take out Negan, 80% of the fans recoil and they're like, there's no way, da-da-da-da-da. So it's not like it's a thing about not being predictable. Besides, like I said before, if it's good story, if it fits, sometimes if we're following along and we have a brain as fans, some stuff will be predictable. The stuff that I can't stand that Hollywood does is they'll say, oh, let's switch it up. Let's surprise them. Let's throw, you know, let's make him the killer out of nowhere. And then you go back and watch it again and you're like, wait a minute, how is he the killer? He was just standing in the garage right behind the chick that just got killed. So wait a minute, they just played me like a fool, you know? So I don't want to hear none of that business about it's too predictable. I think the setup would have been great. I think they would have had a fantastic dynamic between Daryl and Dwight, hating each other's guts but having to work together. And they can still keep the way they are now. Like, Daryl wants to rip his face off. I love that. That was great. Keep all that. That's fine. But just have Dwight and Daryl link up and come up with this plan or whatever you're going to do instead of Rosita. Because with Rosita, it just kind of feels like, plop, here's Rosita. She brings Dwight home. With Daryl, it just felt like there was so much built around it. I don't know. Maybe I wanted that to happen so much that I just can't fathom why they wouldn't go that route, you know what I mean? Or they could potentially be putting them together later on down the line. It doesn't mean, when I say that, I mean, it feels like they're going to go on a date or something, but it feels like maybe they might utilize that aspect later in season 8 or something. Definitely. Rosita could have brought Dwight back, and then Dwight and Daryl are forced to work together in the future, and we can focus on that side of things. Even thinking about it, I still love the idea of Daryl being the one to bring Dwight in, you know what I mean? Hating his guts, wanting to kill him, and better yet, make it a long walk home. Imagine Daryl and Dwight hate each other's guts. They want to kill each other, and they're past the point of wanting to kill each other because Daryl knows we need the information that Dwight has. Dwight is a valuable tool in this war. He's a weapon, you know what I mean? Just what he knows and how close he is and how much Negan thinks that Dwight is broken. I mean, shit, that's a valuable tool. I mean, man, what you could do with that, what possibilities you can, you know, what potential advantage, that's the word I'm looking for, what advantage you would have. And then they'd have to walk all this way home. I don't know, just that thought. Maybe we'll get something like that in season 8. It might not be Daryl bringing Dwight in, but maybe they have to go on a mission together, and we'll get a long, lone road of silence. Of course, they'll have to talk about the mission so you can have some comedy there, but Rick steps up, pulls his gun, and I think it would have been funny if he just shot him in the head, and all comic book fans everywhere were like, what? That's right, you can't have two Daryls. No, but Rick says, get on your knees, and I was like, instant meme. Fans are gonna be like, you want to work with us? Get on your knees, bitch. I'm telling you what, there's gonna be a shitload of memes everywhere about that. And he was in a jail cell, so it's gonna be some prison rape me. There was 2 rape scenes in The Walking Dead, or 2 potential ones in the Walking Dead last night. Did you catch them both? One was an Easter egg. Anyway, Dirty Minds. Anyway, I loved it. I'm sure I missed some stuff on my notes. I scribbled some notes here, but I really enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun, and the trailer has me super hyped for what's coming in the next episode. I'm sure we'll come back and discuss more of The Walking Dead. When the season does end, when the last episode ends, I let like a week or 2 go by, and then what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll rewatch the episodes, and then I'll come back for a review. I try not to jump right out with a season as a whole review. Maybe we will have a discussion when the season ends, specifically on the entire season 7, but then after a few weeks go by and I could go back and revisit it, maybe we'll do a review at that point in time. I think that'd be better. Yeah, let it simmer a little bit. Anyway, put your thoughts and opinions about this episode down in that comment box. Rest in peace, Sasha. Oh man, she's so pretty. Why you gotta take the pretty ones, Negan? You bastard.
Subscribe now.